Hey, checking in with tracks 6 to 11 of Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed, where, yes, I have hit the you gotta be fucking kidding me point of the book. So, we've got the two voices. We've got Amara, the young black woman, who has kind of entered into a relationship with this guy named Kelly, who's a bit older. He's, I think he's 37 or something, 30 something, 37, while she's like in her late 20s, which seems to be fine. He's like a tech tech coding kind of dude who only reads paper books and puts on kind of blocker glasses, later at night just to try and, I guess, defuse the whole blue light situation. Um, they have the super squiggy thing of that they're having a conversation and he is talking about some really racist friends or things like that, and a brother says, "What's an N-word? N-word um, shit." And except he doesn't use the N-word, which really fucking hammers Amira. But she kind of keeps it inside. Really wishes he had used the N-word, not just said it out. And they get past that and they have sex, and then they have kind of the strange little ways where they're chased again for a while, and she's like, what the hell's going on? But then they seem to kind of go forward again, and so that's continuing. She's disappointed when for kind of basically for the convenience of a night out, um, Alex decides not to tell her kid that the goldfish has died, but instead asked Amara to just go pick up a new one, and we're gonna miss the ballet that both Amara and the kid were looking forward to, though the kid seems to not actually remember it either, and that kind of disappoints her. And then it's kind of a crappy day. She gets to show a dead picture of a picture of a dead fish to a kind of a pet store thing and pick up the fish and all that. And then at the end of the night, it turns out, one of her friends, has got a super big promotion. Is going to be pulling her down like 50K. Is getting like an executive job, and she realizes, oh, I am now the only friend who has no health care. Because I mean, shit, in the United States, that's the divide between if something happens to me, I'm screwed, and oh, I might actually have a little bit of a padding there. It's huge, and she's feeling really crappy, and she she's talking to Kelly, and he's like, come on over. You can come over and just stay at my place, overnight. Their friends are all like, we're gonna go out and party, and she's got a boyfriend that doesn't particularly like that much. The girlfriend who's got the promotion's also like, well, I'm gonna move out and get my own single place, which is just like, you know, what am I gonna get? Like, there's all that anxiety. So yeah, let's talk with her. Now, the thing where it's like, you got to be fucking kidding me, is that Alex is having kind of a girls' night with her friends, and they're talking about the most embarrassing things that have happened to them. And what happened to her was that she was writing all these kind of hot and sexy letters to a boyfriend in high school, this guy, and and but he's on this team, and he's like, he's not the cool Cool Jock, but he shows one of the letters to the Cool Jock, which is basically a letter saying, I want you to come over and fuck me. And she even draws a map, and the Cool Jock, this black guy, comes up and says, hey, we're going to come over to your place tonight to party. I saw the map. We're going to come to your mansion tonight. And she's pissed at the guy for showing. It's like, oh, I didn't show him. He must have fallen out or something like that. And basically, Sweets talks him back in. They go back to the mansion because what happened was her parents ended up with a shit ton of money, became kind of rich white trash, kind of went crazy, started spending tons of money, even though they didn't actually have that much money. They inherited it. But, they're at their mansion. He sweet talks it back to the mansion. The parents are out. It's just her and her younger sisters. They have sex. And then who should show up but the Jock and a bunch of his close buds. And indeed, the security camera shows him punching in the code, which was in the letter. Obvious, clinching the thing that, fucking piece of shit. You showed them the letter. They get in. So they call the cops. And everybody gets away except for the key Jock, who is up on a tree getting ready to jump into the pool, gets caught with like a little bit of cocaine on him. He loses his scholarship. And Alex, who's Alex, not Alex at this point, is ostracized for the rest of the year. And the guy breaks up with her. And he breaks up with her by using this phrase of, I think it's time for us to take separate paths, and those separate paths should never meet again. And it's like, motherfucker, this is the exact same cold line that Amira's guy, Kelly, said that he used with a girl in high school. It's the same fucking guy. At which point I went, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So, unless Kelly for some reason has targeted Amira as a thing, this is just one of these stupendous coincidences that you're just kind of like, okay, this is like a stupendous coincidence. This is one of these things you kind of go, if this was the beginning of a book, that would be one thing. This is in the middle of the book that we're like, oh, this is where these two things go together. And I don't know if I guess we'll just sort of see how it plays out. Let's just say if there's another coincidence, this book might be dead to me. Or at least I'm going to take it a lot less seriously, because it's super cheesy. It feels super cheesy, I think is the word. It's either this book should do multiple coincidences. I don't know. Maybe it's the thing of like, there should just have been multiple coincidences throughout the book, and then it'll be like, whatever, because it's that kind of book. But it's like, we've kind of been going along kind of realistic, trying to kind of like have kind of, kind of portraits of this intersection of kind of white, of a 30-something a white woman and a 20-something black woman, and like, how delicate those things. She's got a white boyfriend, and like, how there's there's the cultural things going on there, and then suddenly there's just this big coincidence there, which is just like, I don't know, I'm smiling, it's kind of hilarious. Yeah, that's all I have at the moment. Yeah, and it's one of these things of, I was reading on Goodreads, and some people were saying they didn't think that they particularly sounded the black voices in the book didn't sound particularly authentic. And this was coming from black women. I have nothing. I have no fucking clue. I think I find the relationships believable. I'm getting left behind by my friends. Um, I don't know. It's hard because also it's like it's just it's a young woman. So what the fuck would I know of how they communicate? Other than they seem like human beings. That's good. But man, that coincidence of it's the same guy. I guess we will see. Um, it's interesting that Alex is so much. She's so into Amira of trying to be her friend, and also invading her privacy. She keeps on looking at her phone when it's charging, which is really creepy. It's really like, that's not cool. That is not cool. That is, you're not respecting that woman's boundaries by kind of looking at the phone. Um, and yeah, I'm not quite sure how it's supposed to be judged. It's interesting how Amara's kind of looking at, because Alex has two children now, and one, the older one that she's really kind of bonded with, that she thinks is really cool and just very kind of outgoing and intelligent, but sort of maybe kind of autistic, and a little bit less cutie and quiet, um, is getting kind of pushed aside for the more conventional kid, uh, which is an interesting thing. And she's not happy about that. And it's funny how it's like, oh, she kind of feels a protectiveness. She's sort of on the verge of, sort of losing her life for this kid in a way, um, which is not a good place to be. Like, especially at her age, like late 20s, it's like you probably do need to kind of focus on yourself and kind of getting your own life in gear, and not subsume yourself for somebody else's kid. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I have so far. I guess I do care about that part of it. All right, more videos later.